The Commission on Appointments has finally approved the nomination of Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Erlinda Basilio as the new Philippine ambassador to the People's Republic of China. Committee Chairperson Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago said the recommendation of Basilio's confirmation did not take long because no opposition against her appointment has been filed. Santiago also believed that Basilio was very qualified for the post due to the honor she received and performance records in the country and abroad. Basilio will be replacing former Ambassador Sonia Brady, who has suffered a stroke earlier this year. Five legendary boxing champions has entered the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Oscar De La Hoya, Mike Tyson, Ray Leonard, Larry Holmes, and Julio Cesar Chavez were among those who has been named as new Boxing Hall of Famer. The enshrinement ceremonies of the event will be staged in 2013. Meantime, fighters Diego Corrales and Mike McCallum, trainers Eddie Futch and Freddie Roach, and promoters Don King and Bob Arum were also inducted. The latest rankings of the Philippine Azgals in the International Football Federation or FIFA has dropped from 143 to 147 despite winning 2 of their 5 matches. Despite the low ranking, the Philippine football team is still the highest year-end position of the country since the FIFA ranking system was instituted. The Azgals has defeated Vietnam and Myanmar in its recent match but failed in defeating Thailand and Singapore. World Bank, in its third upward adjustment for the Southeast Asian economy this year, sees the Philippines' growth outlook to rise by 6%. World Bank's East Asian Pacific Economic Update shows Philippines' acceleration on infrastructure spending, which contributed to the remarkable 7.1% growth in the third quarter of the year. The bank then upgraded its 2013 Philippine outlook to 6.2% from 5% in its October projection, and a growth increasing to 6.4% in 2014. Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan meantime said that the country will settle around 6.5% growth without any economically traumatic experience. The Philippine energy sector needs 3 trillion pesos of investment in 2012 to 2030 for energy projects to support the growth of local economy. Energy Secretary Carlos Jericho Padilla said for their energy plan, 1.2 trillion pesos will go to the natural gas sector, 950 billion for alternative fuels, 557 billion for renewable energy projects, 397 billion in power generation projects, and 48 billion for upstream resource development. The investments would also be used to help the government pursue its main purpose to ensure adequate energy supply at a reasonable price, expand energy access to the countryside, and promote low-carbon future to mitigate climate change. First female president elected in South Korea, and the UN chief says there's no prospects of an end to the Syrian war. Precious Aquino filed this report.
The daughter of a former military ruler won South Korea's presidential election on Wednesday and will become the country's first female leader, saying she would work to heal a divided society. The 60-year-old conservative Park Geun-hye will return to the presidential palace in Seoul, where she served as her father's first lady in the 1970s, after her mother was assassinated by a North Korean-backed gunman. With more than 88% of the votes counted, Park led with 51.6% to 48% for her left-wing challenger, human rights lawyer Moon Jae-in, giving her an unassailable lead that forced Moon to concede. park had pushed a message of economic democratization, a campaign buzzword about reducing the social disparities thrown up by rapid economic development, and promised to create new jobs and increase welfare spending. Meanwhile, according to Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, there is no prospect of an end to the 21-month conflict in Syria or the start of a political dialogue between the government and opposition. He told a year-end news conference that the only way to stop the violence is a political settlement, and he again urged the deeply divided UN Security Council, which has been paralyzed since the start of a conflict, to unite and give a very strong political direction to the opposing sides. Earlier, the Security Council extended the mandate of the UN peacekeeping force, separating Israeli and Syrian forces in the Golan Heights, and warned the recent incidents across the ceasefire line have shown the potential for escalating tensions. For World News Roundup, Precious Aquino.
The Philippines finalist Gnn nearly gets the Miss Universe crown, and Lost Prophets lead singer charged with conspiracy to rape. Kring Lacson with these entertainment stories.
The Philippines candidate Gnn won first runner-up in the Miss Universe pageant Wednesday, Thursday in the Philippines, being second only to Miss USA's Olivia Culpo. When asked by Nigel Barker in the Q&A portion whether speaking in English is a prerequisite to being Miss Universe, Tugonon answered that it doesn't matter whether the Miss Universe speaks English. What matters is being able to inspire and influence people and having a strong heart and mind. The other candidates who made it to the top 5 were Irene Sofia Esther Quintero of Venezuela, Renee Ayres of Australia, and Gabriela Marcos of Brazil. The crown has been elusive for the country in decades, with the last winner being Margarita Rojas Moran in 1973. In the past 2 years, however, 2 Filipino beauties, namely Venus Ra and Shamsay Supsup, were also included in the top 5. In other news, Lost Prophets frontman Ian Watkins was charged with conspiracy to rape a 1-year-old girl. He appeared before Cardiff magistrates facing 6 charges relating to sexual offenses against 2 young children. He faces a charge of conspiracy to engage in sexual activity with a child under 13 and 4 offenses relating to possession and distribution of indecent images of children. The offenses date from May to December this year. Walsh was remanded in custody. For entertainment news, Kring Lacson, News Force.
And here's the recap of today's headlines.
Here are the headlines on News Force. Congress ratifies reproductive health bill. President Aquino approves national budget for 2013. Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia defies President Aquino's suspension order. Sandigan Bayan rejects Arroyo's petition to be home for Christmas. South Korea elects first female president. And Philippines wins first runner-up in Miss Universe 2012. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that take you to the heart of the action. This is News Force.
For our Christmas countdown, we only have 5 days before Christmas. For your comments, feedbacks, or videos you want to share with us, email us at info@gnnTV-asia.com. We are your voice for change. Our anchors and reporters will keep on bringing you updates and latest stories, fair and balanced news, comprehensive reports that take you to the heart of the action. You are tuned in on Channel 8 on your Global Destiny cable and on GSAT Channel 1 carried by 300 cable TV operators and broadcasted via UHF stations nationwide. We are your global news network committed to nation building. I am Layli Wag and this is News Force.